Welcome to the ACE Talks, the podcast where we talk about the stories, ideas, and moments shaping Accace. I'm your host, Veronica, and I'm happy to have you here for another episode. This year marks 20 years of Accace as we were established back in 2006. With this podcast, we want to capture the whole journey behind the brand we all know today. To help us walk down the memory lane and to share her exciting story at Accace, I'm joined today by Jana Vasilenková, who's the partner of the company, the managing director of Accace Czech Republic, but also the head of business process outsourcing globally. Hi, Jana, and welcome.
Veronica, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming and joining. Jana, can you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Well, so I'm Jana. As you already mentioned, all my business roles, I'm leading Czech BPO branch, which I'm proud on. We are around 180 people already. I'm payroll leader, responsible for payroll service delivery within a Accace group. So I'm really passionate about payroll. A member of a board. So that's another part of my daily, I would say, life to think over Accace strategy and development. And I'm mother of 2 kids and happily working within our industry, starting already many years ago.
Do you remember the date when you started?
Oh, exactly the date I don't. It was it was beginning of 2026. But yeah, I was quite one of the first employees actually of Accace, but exact date I don't remember. No.
Wow, then it really goes back far. I'm wondering when, where, and why did your journey begin at Accace?
Actually, as I mentioned, it was quite a long time ago. By the way, Accace is my second job in my professional life, so I'm really not a job hopper.
Wow.
Yes. Well, after I get back from my second maternity leave, I've realized that my job that time was very stable, very nice. I was quite happy, but it was like, it becomes to be boring, frankly speaking. So I started to have some ideas about maybe I will be looking for a change. And absolutely by coincidence, yeah, I was reading a newspaper there were newspapers, not websites yet. And I've noticed Accace advertisement that Accace is opening a branch in Ukraine and they are looking for leader of this branch. So I've replied via email. In a few days, I was in one hotel in Prague in lobby with Jiří Mayer talking. I believe we spent around 2 hours. It was quite unusual, I would say, job interview. My first actually, but I don't think it should be like that. But I was super excited because Jiří is very excited and you know, person, and we were discussing Ukraine, and it's my passion, one of my really favorite topics. And next day, actually, I have received a call that Accace is ready to hire me. So that's how it started.
And why was it Ukraine that you wanted to go for?
Well, that's coming from my professional profile, but also family background. You know, I am really quite an old asset. So when I was looking for eventually international studies, that time the offer was very limited. So I've spent 5 years on university in Kiev. Means Ukraine was my sort of second home, and also my husband is coming from Ukraine. So Ukraine is country I'm super close to. I love Ukraine, and I was happy to go there and to run the business there.
How long were you actually running the business in Ukraine, and how did the transition back to Czech Republic happen?
I was there almost 5 years. I've started to be like full week or full months even in the country. I was lucky enough because my mother-in-law is at that time living in Kiev, so I could travel with kids whenever I found this appropriate. And then I've started to be the branch started to be bigger. There was some already proper organizational structure. So I started to look for to move back to Czech Republic. So in 2010, I believe, step by step, I hand over my Ukrainian duties. And coincidentally, another big BPO project has started for Czechoslovakian market. So it was nice project to start with when I came back in 2010, I believe it was, when I came back to Czech Republic. Yeah.
Now, going back to those early days, especially in the Ukrainian office, what were those days like? What was the day-to-day atmosphere? The how big was the team? Can you describe that for us?
We were very small. We've started like 3 person sitting in Rigu's office, but that time it was quite, Ukraine was quite sexy for a lot of European companies. So we've managed to onboard quite a lot of clients already during first 2 years, and we were growing continuously. That time, actually, the business in Ukraine, Accace business in Ukraine, was even bigger than now, which is understandable because of war. There are certain limitations, and the business simply is not easy to grow. I was lucky enough to have, with 5 years spending at university, I have enough infrastructure, let's call it like this, already built within Ukraine. So it was not stressful for me to recognize how to behave, what does it mean to run the business. And I believe it was one of our advantage that we could guide that time international companies not familiar with Ukrainian specifics that time, to guide them through that process, help them, support them, and manage to talk to them in their, I would say, language.
Must have been very important. I feel that it's always very important for local businesses to have that local representative. I do wonder, though, if you were mostly focusing on payroll back then, or you were also involved in other services.
Absolutely not at payroll. It was rather accounting and statutory compliance stuff. Payroll was like smallest appendix of our services that time. So yes, it was completely different than what I'm doing today. We were also at the same moment developing paralegal services, corporate services. We were trying to be really business partner for clients entering the Ukrainian business and helping them to build local representation, and supported them with many functions, not just accounting and payroll.
It's actually funny to hear that payroll played such a smaller role, because now you are head of BPO globally and you're very involved in payroll. And also, given that Accace's name literally comes from accounting A's, we really got strong in payroll. When did that happen?
I would say, Vero, it was up to the certain level, even unintentionally, because you're right. I remember even myself to think that payroll, well, that's this nice appendix to accounting and financial agenda. But, we were always quite, brave when approaching different type of clients and participating in tenders. And actually in 2010 and following years, we were quite successful by gaining big international corporations on a payroll. And that was the first momentum we gonna to use. At the same moment, most of our branches, they were trying to build the payroll service line within the country. So we were really, there was a lot of effort from all teams to be recognized on a market, to, acquire new clients, onboard them. So that was another, I would say, part of the story, how to become bigger in payroll. And last but not the least, it is our quite unique internal payroll platform called Tulip. Tulip team, that time they've developed really great payroll portal. And I believe it was part of our success story because we were far behind all our competition And it was super easy to approach clients and sell payroll services with such a nice tools.
Actually, I did want to ask you what differentiates Accace's approach from other BPO or payroll providers in the region. I understand in the past that this was absolutely a game changer, having your own software or platform for payroll. What do you think is now the differentiator?
I believe it should be, and the differentiator should be that we are able somehow to accommodate combination of how to provide our services using all those technology stuff which are around, and at the same moment to be able to provide really managed service means clients able to talk to the people, having partners who are listening, who are trying to understand their problems and who are looking for solution, not just product delivery.
Is this also what keeps Accace's payroll go strong even after so many years? Or are there maybe even more factors to the game?
Definitely there are more factors. So, but that's one of the aspect definitely. I believe all our technology knowledge we've gained through the years is something which is very helping when we are positioning ourselves and we talk with our prospects or even current clients. But this is also, I believe, the complexity of services we are able to provide. It's not just about payroll. We are very much close to other teams within Accace, tax, legal, accounting. So all this mixture, I believe, is enabling us to still be on the top and to be able to respond to clients' needs and design and shift our service based on their needs.
I would like to now go a little bit back and look at the 2 decades that have passed. What were the achievements that make you the proudest?
Well, when I was thinking about that, first, my first, I would say, ideas were about those big projects. Yeah, we successfully managed. Either it was big payroll, or some technology project, or some big unification across Czech and Slovakian market for one of our client. But then I realized that actually the biggest shift I feel we've made, and the biggest success story I consider happened, is how all our colleagues manage to absorb all this new reality, which is part of our business. I can compare how we worked 5 years ago, how we do stuff today, and how demanding everything becomes to be for all of our colleagues. It's not just about technology. Other stress factors are with us. But I see our colleagues do, when absorbing all those demands and accommodating, I feel they are much more proud on how they do stuff. And they are more able to recognize this competence. Simply, we shifted from someone who is processing clients' data, I believe, to some partnership. Yeah, and that's I am very proud on.
That indeed sounds wonderful. Maybe it's not the appropriate question to ask next, but I also wanted to explore if there is anything you would do differently looking back.
Yes, I would. I would start in BPO business much sooner because what I feel I might be missing is few years to spend somewhere more international. The only international, real international experience, as I mentioned, were my university years, and that's just one part of the world. And sometimes, frankly speaking, I do miss to be somehow more flexible or simply better understand different business language of some of our clients because I miss, to feel that. So that I would perhaps change if I could. Yeah.
Now, on a little bit more personal note, I was wondering because you are managing director in Czech Republic, you are partner of the company, you're overseeing payroll globally. How do you juggle so many roles and especially responsibilities these days?
Somehow, I don't know. It perhaps becomes to be easier with so many years to be in actually I would not say the same business because business is going to be changed, but within the same, I would say, Accace approach how to do the business. So first of all, I'm very lucky on my team. And if I compare my daily operations when I started in Ukraine, I was micromanaging everything. Today, rather opposite. I am absolutely happy to have such a strong managers around me that, frankly speaking, ops is something I'm not good at all, and I'm happy not to be in that. Yeah, so that's one part of, I would say, my daily success story. Second, um, I believe we are still, Accace is still looking for and proactively working on how to support everyone within the company, and we are very transparent, and we treat everyone with respect. So even though we might be in some, I don't know, difficult situations, difficult conversations, tough periods, simply, for example, COVID, etc., I feel such a huge positive feedback from all our teams. That's really helping to and it's motivating. And third, I'm very happily married. I have two kids. I have a very nice private life, so also some work-life balance, of course, helps.
Well, I'm so happy for you, Jana. And it's especially so nice to hear that a person with such a long history in the same company can still speak so positively about the company and use the word motivational, actually. That's really good to hear. Now, we are coming actually to the end of our session, and before we say goodbye, I love to ask our guests if there is any ace card up in their sleeve which they can share. What I'm looking for is maybe some personal wisdom or motto or slogan that you live by.
Job to be stressed about every problem which is coming, because there will be always coming. So I'm not sure that's actually the motto, but I'm always trying to calm down all my colleagues, and I'm always trying to explain that yes, there might be the problems, there might be some really difficult situations, we may fail. That's absolutely okay. Let's be positive about that. I know it sounds not maybe positive, but let's learn from that. Yeah, and we are not, we are not surgery guy. Yeah, we just do the services, so it's okay sometimes to fail. It only makes us stronger. So my motto is never give up and keep going.
Well, thank you so much for sharing not only your wisdom, but also your story with us today. I hope to have you back for another session soon, actually.
Thank you, Vero. Pleasure was mine.
Thank you. Now, to our dear audience, thank you for tuning into the ACE Talks today. If you enjoyed this episode, give us a follow, click the like button, leave a comment, or share it with a friend. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and keep staying one step ahead.